What's up, folks? How are you doing? Let's keep this intro short because this video is going to be a bit longer than usual. Today, we're diving into a variety of battleground worlds. Some of these games you might not even know about yet. So stick around to the end as I reveal my top 12 Roblox Battlegrounds games of 2024. Just a heads up, this list isn't official or anything. It's purely based on my personal experience and how much fun I had playing each game. Now here's the exciting part. 2 of you will win a game pass of your choice today, and if this video hits another 1,000 likes, I'll add 2 more giveaways. But only those who watch the entire video qualify. So make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Alright, let's get into it. First game of the day, or my top 12 pick, Cursed Battlegrounds. I used to play this game a lot back when it had an active player base, and honestly, what stood out to me was the combat. It's the closest thing to TSB back in the day, but set in the JJK world, if you know what I mean. But then, things started falling apart. I don't know what went down behind the scenes, but it took forever for them to drop new characters. Toji, for example, has been stuck in early access for months now. And the part that really drove people away, the devs focused way too much on private server plus characters. Like, seriously, the number of PS Plus characters is higher than the actual playable ones. They spent all this time on PS Plus content while the main game got left behind. In my opinion, that's one of the main reasons people just stopped playing. It's sad because this game had so much potential. If they had just maintained a steady flow of updates, it could have been so much bigger today. Coming in at number 11, Rampage. This multi-anime Battlegrounds game had insane hype even before its release. People were excited because it promised some awesome stuff, featuring characters like Sung Jin-woo from Solo Leveling, Dio Brando, Sukuna, and Madara as early access picks. On launch day, they delivered pretty well and even dropped another early access character, Ghetto, shortly after. At first, it was fun. I really enjoyed it during its fresh release, but then things took a turn and people just stopped playing. I'm not in their Discord and didn't spend a ton of time with the game, so I can't say for sure what went wrong. But if I had to guess, I think it's because the hype before launch raised expectations too high and the experience didn't quite match up. The combat felt a bit clunky and some characters seemed unbalanced. That said, it wasn't bad compared to other Battlegrounds out there. It just felt like the marketing set the bar too high and the game couldn't quite deliver. Still, they experienced some success early on, so it's not a complete loss. Next up, at number 10, we've got Fiction Battlegrounds. This game has so much potential, and you might be wondering why it's only ranked here. Well, to be fair, it's still a new game with a lot of room to grow. In terms of combat, it definitely stands out with its unique style. What really caught my attention are the smooth cutscene animations. Those are a big win, but since there's only one full character available right now, it's hard to gauge the game's full potential just yet. The only downside I see is how they've adapted certain ultimates. For example, the dropkick move, it's branded as their own, but let's be real, it's clearly inspired by KJ, down to the details. Also, the third ultimate move feels like it pulls heavily from Legends Battlegrounds. While it's not a direct copy, it's close enough that I think they could have made it more unique while keeping the inspiration. That said, this game is still new and already a solid Battlegrounds title. I'm really excited to see what's next for Fiction Battlegrounds because the potential here is massive. Number 9 on the list, Fruit Battlegrounds. You might have heard about this one, and if not, let me break it down. This game isn't your typical Battleground style like the ones we usually play, but it still falls under the category. It's based on One Piece, so if you're a fan of the series, you're going to love it. They stay super updated with the latest One Piece manga movesets, which is a huge plus. Imagine Blox Fruits, but in a Battleground setting, that's the vibe. The gameplay is a bit different from the usual Battleground mechanics. It's less about traditional M1 combos and more about skill-smashing combos. Instead of picking a character, you spin for fruits to unlock movesets, which makes it a luck-based system. It also has grinding mechanics for unlocking epic movesets like Gear 5 or Kaido's Dragon Hybrid form. On top of that, there are boss fights and even a tournament system, so there's a lot to dive into. One thing I don't really vibe with in this game is the leveling system. It kinda sucks. You basically have to spam your moves to level up, which feels more like a simulator grind than actual gameplay. And let's be real, most people just use auto-clickers to make it easier. So like, what's even the point of all that in the first place? Anyway, while it might not be the #1 Battlegrounds game, Fruit Battlegrounds has a solid and consistent player base and community. I used to play this game a lot and still hop on occasionally. They're always improving, and honestly, it's a pretty unique and fun experience. Next up, Cursed Arena, a Jujutsu Kaisen Battleground game. Now, if you're into hardcore competitive gameplay, this might not be the best fit for you. But honestly, what keeps people, including myself, coming back is the huge roster of characters. I mean, this game probably has the most JJK characters developed compared to any other Battleground out there. Nanami, Toji, Hanami, Jogo, and even some characters you rarely see in other games. Their character design is top tier, with solid sound and visual effects. But here's the thing, because of all that, the game kind of lost its balance. Some characters can pull off one-shot combos by spamming, while others feel like they're lacking in combo potential altogether. And yeah, those flashy effects, sometimes they make the gameplay feel a bit off. But yeah, still, if you're looking for a more chill, less sweaty battleground experience, it's definitely worth checking out. Next up, we've got Jujutsu Beatdown. I recently made a video about this game because they dropped an absolutely wild character, Super Senior Gojo. This game stands out from other battlegrounds, not just because of its map design, but also its unique combat style. It's definitely not your typical battlegrounds gameplay. Some players find the combat a bit clunky, while others love the difference. It's really mixed feedback. Personally, it's a style I'm not entirely used to, but it's not bad. Maybe I just need more time to adapt. What's really impressive is how they're elevating characters to another level. They've got Heian Sukuna, which you rarely see in other games, and it's super high quality. Plus, they have Yuta with a domain expansion, which is pretty rare to see in other games too. They've packed in so much cool stuff, and the domain clash mechanic, it's on a whole other level. I love seeing how this game is evolving and how they're listening to player feedback. While it's not the most popular battleground out there, I see a lot of potential. If they keep delivering quality and making adjustments based on what players want, this game could grow even more. Overall, it's a fun and enjoyable experience worth checking out. Coming in at number 6, we have Sorcerer Battlegrounds. This was probably the first decent JJK Battlegrounds game on Roblox. Heavily inspired by TSB, it's similar to Cursed Arena, but with a more serious and competitive vibe. Back in the day, this game was the go-to JJK Battleground, loved for its manga-accurate characters, movesets, and the technical depth behind each move. Honestly, this was the first JJK game I truly fell in love with. But over time, things started to shift. Updates, changes, and adjustments rolled out, and it seemed like the community wasn't on board. The M1 system, new characters, and overall style began to stray from what players originally loved. Another issue was the lack of consistent updates, which caused the game to lose a lot of its player base. That said, there's still a lot to appreciate, like the most realistic-looking Mahoraga on Roblox. It might not be the absolute best, but it's definitely the most accurate model, and I genuinely think this game can bounce back if they deliver consistent updates. To be clear, the game isn't dead, it's just not as big as it once was. With all that said, Sorcerer Battlegrounds is still a great game and absolutely worth trying out. Coming in at number 5, we have Legends Battlegrounds. If you're looking to take a break from anime games, this is an easy pick. It's a Battlegrounds game inspired by the Combat Gods Stickman series, or at least it seems that way. While it's not officially confirmed, the style feels like it's taken some inspiration from Combat Gods. But hey, it could be an original concept too. Who knows? Even with just 2 characters so far, this game has become one of my favorites to play. The combat mechanics are smooth, intuitive, and super enjoyable. Add in the crazy animations, cinematic cutscenes, and overall polish, and you've got a game that really stands out. It's still in heavy development, but with every update, it just keeps getting better. For me, Legends Battlegrounds is an easy top choice, and I can't wait to see what's next. Next up, we have Heroes Battlegrounds, and My Hero Academia-inspired anime Battlegrounds game. This is easily one of the most popular and well-established games out there, standing tall alongside giants like TSB and others. The combat has its own unique style, with fast-paced gameplay that keeps players hooked. The VFX and animations are so good that, honestly, you sometimes forget it's a Roblox game. Plus, the added grinding mechanics and boss fights make it even more engaging and fun to play. I'll admit, I don't play Heroes Battlegrounds as much as other games because, well, you know me, I've got to cover multiple games for content, but whenever I do, it's always a blast, and I genuinely enjoy the experience. Overall, it's a solid, well-rounded game that I definitely recommend. If you're into anime-based battlegrounds, Heroes Battlegrounds is one of the best options out there. Alright, coming in at number 3, Jujutsu Shenanigans. Yep, you guessed it, my favorite Battlegrounds game on Roblox, and probably yours too. Don't lie, I see you. This game is an easy pick for one of the best Battlegrounds games out there, not because of its visuals, but because of its overall style. Let's be real, this game is goofy as heck. It's like the ultimate proof that good visuals don't make a good game. Visually, nah, it's not winning any beauty contests, but somehow that goofiness is what made it rise to the top, becoming one of the most played and loved Battlegrounds games on Roblox. What really sets it apart is the sheer amount of crazy stuff you can do. There's build mode, game modes, private server features. Basically, there's always something wild to explore. And the combat? It's not the best, but it's solid and has its own unique vibe. Oh, and let's not forget the destructive system. Sure, they didn't invent it, but this game took it to the next level, smashing it, literally. Overall, it's just a super fun, chill, and surprisingly addictive game. Plus, this game helped keep my channel alive and introduced me to some awesome people in the community. Fingers crossed the non-toxic vibe sticks around, because honestly, that's a huge reason why this game is so enjoyable. I could talk about this game forever, but honestly, you should just go play it yourself. Trust me, you'll have a blast. Coming in at my number 2 pick, the GOAT itself, the strongest Battlegrounds. I mean, 99% of you watching probably already know this game, right? But for the 1% who don't, let me give you a quick rundown. It's a Roblox Battlegrounds game based on One Punch Man. Fun fact, it used to be called Saitama Battlegrounds before they rebranded. And yeah, we all know why. And of course, this game is the father of all Roblox Battlegrounds. I've watched this game grow into its full potential, and now it's easily one of the most played Battlegrounds games on Roblox. Not only did it make the genre blow up, but it literally launched the Battlegrounds era on Roblox. Everything about this game screams quality. The combat, the visuals, the gameplay, it's all chef's kiss. People love it for its super competitive mechanics, and honestly, it's hard not to get hooked. They're constantly improving the game too, though updates have been delayed recently. Hopefully, the new content drops soon because the hype is real. At the end of the day, TSB is an easy choice for one of the best Battlegrounds out there. If you haven't played it yet, what are you even doing? And here we are, my number 1 pick and the best Battlegrounds game in my opinion, Ultimate Battlegrounds. This multi-anime battleground takes everything to a whole new level. The gameplay, insanely smooth, easily one of the best in terms of combat mechanics, at least from my experience. They've got an amazing roster of characters from fan-favorite anime, and the attention to detail in every character's moveset and abilities is just masterfully done. Visually, no competition, they're at the top, if not the top. What I love most about this game is that they don't just pump out characters every update. Sure, updates might take a bit longer, but when they drop, you know they put in the work. Every detail is polished and it shows. This game started off strong and just keeps improving. If they maintain this level of quality, I can totally see them dominating the Roblox Battlegrounds scene in the future. Even with a smaller roster of characters right now, the game doesn't feel lacking. It's fun, unique, and an absolute top-tier, high-level competitive fighting game on Roblox. If you haven't tried it yet, you're missing out. And that's a wrap. Those are my top Battleground picks. Now it's your turn. Drop your favorites in the comments below. All right, before we wrap this up, it's time to pick the 2 winners from the last giveaway. This is exactly what I mean when I say, keep showing that support and we'll keep the giveaways rolling. Sooner or later, you'll get your Game Pass for sure. Now, since you made it through the whole video, don't forget to drop a like and hit that subscribe button. Let's aim for another 1,000 likes before my next video drops, and we'll have 2 more lucky winners getting a Game Pass. So, go ahead and do your thing. And that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.